Well, scalpel. You looking at me, Donna?
We're losing adrenaline now.
You'll never amount to anything, pal.
Everybody clear! You scum!
We've lost him.
Even angels need to relieve their tension once in a while. And that's why you join us today in heaven at Quentin Tarantino time. For we will be using this fine Virtua Cop contraption throughout today's show. Later on, my own tensions will be being relieved by the appearance of our two special Biker Grove guests, Donna and Vicky Taylor. But now it's tulip time for our event, which we like to call Rosa Rumble. Sega's Virtua Cop has turned out to be easily the best arcade shoot-'em-up since the Falklands War. But as the empty pockets of many a punter will testify, it's as hard as a pit bull terrier wearing a chieftain tank for trousers. For this event, we've shoved in a top arcade champ to show us how it's done. His mission is to quite literally play through the entire game and using only one tiny credit before the end of the show. This most single of credits will give him just 5 lives to sustain him through 3 levels of tooled-up Tarantinos, helpless hostages and bazooka-wielding bosses.
Although it may look like a simple case of shoot everything that moves, there's a couple of things to look out for. It's very important to reload your weapon every time you've got the chance. This is done by pointing the gun away from the screen and firing. The barrel in the bottom right of the screen indicates how many bullets you've got left. Each time a player is hit, they lose 1 of their 5 lives.
Lose all 5, and it's game over.
And here to play Virtua Cop today is Martin Mathers. Martin, today you are James Bond.
Indeed, Dominic. Licensed to wear an ill-fitting suit, so it seems.
You said it, Martin. And now, actually, you appeared on Series 1 of Gamesmaster. And how did you go on?
I failed.
You did fail.
I did.
So, are you going to do better tonight?
Of course, I'm come back to get my revenge. I want that joystick.
So you are convinced that you can play through the whole of Virtua Cop and complete it before the show ends?
Not only am I going to complete it on 1 credit, I'm going to get a perfect score.
So what makes you think you can do this challenge then, Martin?
Well, I think it's because, unlike most of the people we have on the show, not only am I a completely true professional, I'm also a bit of a cocky git.
It's very honestly put, Martin. OK, time is running out. You better get started. And keeping a watchful eye over Martin throughout today's show is Dave Professor Perry. Professor, listen, what's going to be the most difficult thing about Martin completing this challenge within the time?
The difficulty is going to be racking up the points. He's got to score 9,999,999 points. That's a lot of points, so he's going to have to use the multiplier at the top of the screen. He uses that by hitting targets as often as possible, and that increases the amount that the score he hits on those targets is multiplied by. It could be anything up to ×9.
OK, we can see Martin then, he's working his way safely through this at the moment. Is there going to be, like, is there reloading problems and things like that in this, Dave?
There is with the screen he's got, because on the smaller screen version it's easier. You don't have to move the gun so far, because you take the gun off the screen and click to reload. On the large screen he's on, and being so close, he's got to do a really vigorous arm movement to load that gun.
OK, we can see he's dispatching these guys with relative ease. The bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you can see how many bullets he's got left in his gun. When that becomes empty, you will get the reload sign. That's when Martin has to flick it away, as Professor was telling you. You can also see his hearts at the bottom as well. He's got 5 just now, so probably not going to have to worry about that too much. So much shooting action going on, Professor.
Yeah, he's doing really well. He's taken everyone out. He's being very, very accurate. And like I said, this isn't a single-shot game. You get more points by hitting the guys as many times as possible before they hit the ground. So he wants to just keep hammering into them and keep that gun loaded. OK, that was a fantastic bouncer from the last guy's shot. They are quite rubbery when they're hitting the ground, these guys, Dave. They do bounce about, which gives you plenty of opportunity to shoot them. That's a hostage in front of the screen. You don't want to hit one of them because you'll lose a life if you do.
Well, Professor and I are going to keep getting excited about Martin's performance. Personally, we don't want to spoil you, though, so we're going to go over to today's news. Proof that some people haven't heard that 16-bit is dead is a new gadget that allows you to prove you're the tops of the Mega Drive or the Super NES without leaving your home. Hyperscore grabs your high score at the end of a game and allows you to transmit it to a central scoreboard via a 40p phone call. It's then immediately added to the national high score table for that game. The tables are shown on teletext, or you can call up for your position, and the top monthly players in each league will win some fantastic excuse for a prize. Mortal Kombat 3 is just one of 20 games compatible when Hyperscore is released next month for 30 notes. Indy 500 is the latest in Sega's lineup of top racing arcade games. Using the same Model 2 technology as Daytona and Sega Rally, Indy 500 offers a choice of 3 tracks, 4 viewpoints, multiple players and gameplay that's faster than me sprinting after an attractive lady going downhill on a bike. Before the Earthworm Jim 2 game comes out later on in the year, the wee worm has gone all Hollywoody on us and now has its own cartoon show. The £5 million 13-part series has just started on cable channel TCC and includes characters and stunts straight from the game and some naff songs that thankfully aren't.
Here comes Earthworm Jim, you know that he's a mighty one.
Oasis it ain't. Groovy!
It's CD-ROM of the Week!
Hi, my name is Michael Jackson.
All right, mate.
But they call me the Beer Hunter. They call me that because I drink beer for a living.
Really? I thought you were a supermodel. So listen up, ladies. If you explore this Beer Hunter CD-ROM, you'll be able to amaze your friends with your uncanny knowledge of the beer-making process, swap stories about malting, and squabble over the best label design.
Hello again, and welcome to the field guide section of this program.
You can even ask Mike what his favourite beers are. Just don't mention smoked porter.
Smoked porter. This is powerfully smoky.
Uh-huh.
Really get that smoky aroma.
Really?
And then as you taste it, there's more smokiness, and it's a slightly
smoky,
woody-tasting smokiness.
Damn. Yes, Mike really loves his smoked porter.
I once had this beer for breakfast with bagels and lox at a picnic in the middle of an ice field in Alaska.
Yeah, sure. Funny he never married. Anyway, over to Mike for some final words for those people unsure whether to buy Toshinden or Beer Hunter.
I encourage you to expand your palate for a good beer. Of course, it might take a lifetime.
Hey, no rush, mate. Martin Mathers is still with us, still working his way through Virtua Cop. He hasn't blown it yet. Dave, what point have we reached now?
Well, he's coming towards the end of the first stage and he hasn't lost a life or even been hit yet. And a little while back he picked up an automatic weapon, so he's got some rapid fire going on.
Okay, he's just turning this corner here. He's going into... Oh, darkness is looming.
That can only tell you one thing, he's going to come to a boss. Let's have a listen to what he's got to say.
Pretty bold, aren't we? I'll take care of you myself.
Right,
I'm not actually that scared by him, actually, Dave.
He's not all that scary. He looks a bit silly, and he's got a very square missile launcher, which Martin's now dealing with. The first thing to do is to take out these missiles as they come to you, and then hit the boss, because if you ignore the missiles, they're going to take your lives.
Okay, well, he's hammering those missiles with the relative aplomb there.
He is. The boss's energy level's at the top, as you can see, and he's nearly gone.
That's it, he's done the boss.
No,
he
he's
hasn't.
not.
Oh, what happened to the boss there? He kind of keeled over for a bit. What's he doing now?
No, he's giving up. He's putting his hands up. He's going to disappear.
Soft lad.
But it's a typical Hollywood ending because he comes back for one last go and Martin's finished him off.
Okay, so at the end of level 1 you can see that Martin's got nearly 1.5 million points, still some points short of that 9.999 million he's got to get, but the next 2 levels are going to be a lot harder and longer, so there's almost a cupboard full of points on offer. Now the problem is if we do go on to anything else, there is a possibility Martin might have blown it and won't be here by the time we come back. We're prepared to take that risk because I cannot wait any longer for some hot celebrity type action. So let's go over to Gamesmaster to find out what they'll be playing.
What I wanted was a simple but brutal challenge for my next contestants. So I've chosen the popular arcade beat-em-up King of Fighters 95. I've selected the female fighters as their agility makes them particularly lethal. The winner is the one to take 2 rounds first. Bring on the fighters!
Grappling under my watchful gaze today, please welcome from Biker Grove, Vicky Taylor and Donna Ayer. Welcome to the show, Vicky. Welcome to the show, Donna. Okay, right, Vicky, first of all, you play Angel in Battle Grove. What do you like about that character?
She's dead sweet, she gets on with everyone, but she can be stubborn. She was always stubborn to Charlie.
Yeah, and flirtatious as well.
Yeah, she's a bit of a flirt. Like Vicky.
Donna, you won Child of the Year once in 1989 or
Years
something.
and years ago.
What did you have to do for that?
Put a sweet smile on and some
So
baby clothes.
you don't have to do child things, like you don't have to steal from your mother's purse or anything like that, or fly out to fields.
No.
And so you're both fighting in this game tonight. Have you ever had any fights in real life, like up in Newcastle when you're filming? You ever had a kicking?
No.
No?
We've had a couple of disagreements.
I've been up to Newcastle twice and got my head kicked in both times, funnily enough. But then, fair enough, obviously just don't like bald people up there.
That's what it is, it's the accent.
What's wrong with my accent? Are you starting on me, you two?
No.
It's not too late to get that little ginger girl from the show. We can do that. Okay, right, well, we're all going to wash our smalls in preparation for the challenge, which is coming up after the break. Apart from, of course, Martin Mathers, who's got more than enough to worry about than a pair of dirty smalls, because he'll be continuing and hopefully climaxing on Virtua Cop after the break. Welcome back. Vicky Taylor and Donna from Biker Grove are about to try their luck on King of the Fighters 95 on the Neo Geo. We spoke to them before the break, and I can say they're both fantastic ladies. Fantastic bloke action going on still on Virtua Cop. Martin Mathers working his way through it. You all right there, Martin? Fine. Rick Henderson from PC Review is eagerly watching this scrap with me. Rick, tell us some of the strengths and weaknesses of both characters then.
Well, Mai Shinui, which is the character that Donna's playing, has got immense popularity and is extraordinarily quick. It's best to get in there quickly. And King, the one dressed in a suit, which Vicky is playing, is actually very, very slow, but is very good at power plays. They've both got a couple of good special moves. Mai has got the flying squirrel dance, which sounds very good. And King's got the surprise rose.
And is it a surprise?
It's a bit of a surprise to me, but if they manage to actually pull it off, but there you go.
All right, thanks very much, Rick. So it's a best of 3 bout situation. Whoever wins 2 will emerge golden joysticks up. Best of luck, Donna. Best of luck, Vicky. Let's start the fight. Okay, so off we go. Donna's on the left-hand side. She's Mai in the little red bikini thing. And Vicky is King, the lady in the suit. You can see the energy bars at the top of the screen. Quite level at the moment, Rick.
Yeah, you can see she's just jumping over, using the height advantage in the air, because Mai's very good at jumping around.
Fantastic roll kick she managed to pull off there. Oh, some fantastic kicking action. Got her legs round her neck there.
Yeah, very good splits there as well. But
that's one way of putting it. Oh, now something's flashing up the top there, Rick. What does that mean?
That means that King is actually very close to dying now. When it flashes red and yellow, that means
both flashing now, though. So Vicky managed to pull that one back very well. They're still very close to dying, though. Time is ticking out. Will they get a knockout before the time runs out?
We haven't actually seen any blocking, which is one thing. There's a lot of jumping around and hitting each other, but no blocking. I have to interrupt
you there, Rick. Mai has got one more hit, basically, and Mai will be out. The time is out, but King has slightly more energy left, so the first bout goes to Vicky. Okay, off we go for round 2 then.
As you can see at the bottom, they've got POW bars. Every time they get hit, they get more and more angry, and it can unleash far greater blows.
Okay, we saw another one of those fantastic split moves, and King's energy is right down there just now. It's a fantastic comeback from Donna here, Rick.
It looks like we're going to go into a 3rd round, definitely. King only needs another couple of small hits here.
And she'll have copped it completely, and that's it. Final fantastic flying punch there. Donna pulls it level. So off we go for the 3rd and final deciding bout. Remember, Donna is in the red and Vicky is in the, I would call that a sort of bottle green suit there. At the moment, not too much hits being planted upon each other. Rick, what would you like to see in this bout?
We haven't actually seen any of the special moves. I mean, Mai's also got deadly flying... What is it? Deadly flying bees. Ninja bees or something.
Well, that sounds very intriguing. You can see from the energy bars at the moment, it's Vicky who's in slightly more trouble. Although a nice bit of a double combo there. Oh, it's flashing now. Vicky is flashing.
Vicky is flashing. There's the sight you can see every day. Donna's going in there with the fan. She can actually win this bout quite easily now. But no, Vicky's coming back.
It's a great action, though. Wrong, Vicky's fighting back like there's no tomorrow.
It's very, very even now. They only need a couple of small punches in there or a quick kick.
The time's running out, though. They're both missing each other now.
And
that's it. That's the final hit.
Donna's got it.
Vicky fights it does. Donna is the winner. Okay, right. Vicky, you took the first bout, and then it all kind of started to go wrong. What happened?
What can I say? Donna's character's far too fast for my character.
Oh.
I mean, when my character does get the punch in, she is quite powerful, but it's just too quick.
Fault.
Yeah, it's the computer's fault.
I can't blame, it's too late to blame the computer now.
I didn't play any computer games at all, but I'm a fanatic now. I love it. I need to.
Well, you were doing some fantastic moves there on Vicky.
Oh, yeah.
What were they about?
She kind of moved towards her, grabbed her with her legs and flung her over. Like, hiya, and all of that.
It was a visual treat for all of us concerned. Well, I have to say, actually, I didn't actually want you to come on the show. I didn't think we'd get on. I didn't think I'd like you.
Well, we've been thinking about it for about 4 months now. Whether
Someone
to come
warned
on.
us.
We were warned about the presenter.
That's Ant and Dec talking rubbish. Do you know what I mean? But I do have to say, having met you are much nicer than Ant and Dec, because I thought they smelled a little bit.
You're nicer than what they described you as well.
Oh,
They
well,
didn't really like you either.
They didn't describe me as being
you
very
should have
nice.
heard what they said about you.
You can't trust short, Geordie blokes. That's in the Bible or something like that, somewhere. OK, well, listen, it's prize presentation time now, and after much sweating of limbs, the Gamesmaster Golden Joystick goes to Donna. So let's another round of applause for our two special guests, Vicky Taylor and Donna here. Well, I'd love to spend all day with these girls. They are fantastic, but I am a man. I have a job to do, and it's time now to check on Martin's progress on Virtua Cop. So, Dave, how's he getting on?
Well done. On level 1, Martin may have had it all his own way, but he's finding it a completely different kettle of fish on level 2, with the body count and hostages turned way up. He's managed to keep his cool and his multiplier on 9. So we're going to have a look at some particularly hot replays of our wannabe Bond in action. As you can see from this piece of action, it's complete mayhem out there. There are hostages running about everywhere. He's got to be very careful not to hit them or he's going to lose a life. He took that pylon out deliberately not to hit the man running across the screen. This is a particularly nice piece of action, a favourite of mine. You'll see all the bad guys are targeted. Now, they're easy to hit, but what Martin does, he spots a guy in the background. You'll see him to the left now, and he takes him out. He wasn't targeted, but he scores an extra life for that. Good shooting. Now, this is a particularly tricky situation, one that every cop dreads, even Virtua Cops. There are hostages running everywhere, and Martin has to be careful not to hit them, but he avoids them all. They're running right through the baddies. He takes out all the baddies and leaves the good guys intact. Fantastic. And having gone through all that, the end-of-level boss was no trouble for him. His missiles didn't even hit Martin, took him out in mid-flight, one in the chest. Goodbye, bad guy. Well, that takes Martin's score to 6,408,800. You don't need to be a mathematician to know that at 2/3 of the way through the game, that's not enough. We need some fancy shooting, Martin.
All right, mate, not much longer. OK, Martin is now going into the office there, just warped a guy up in the back, and there are lots of big blokes in black suits there. He's taking them all down with relative ease. Dave, it looks like he's going to do this.
Yeah, he's doing very, very well. He's got the machine gun at the moment as he comes around the corner, which is very useful. He's going to have to switch it to the automatic because you can't reload the machine gun. Right, he's on automatic now. This is a Mexican wave behind the desk.
Dealt with those, no problem at all. They've gone back the other way. They've come back for more.
It's a tricky moment now with a hostage because if he shoots the guy in the chest, he could take the hostage. That's it. He took his kneecaps out.
Fine shooting there. OK, so more people coming out using that corner to try and hide from Martin, but they cannot hide from the Matherster at all. Round the corner there.
Yeah, the Magnum there he could have picked up. He chose to ignore that. And now
He doesn't need it,
mayhem.
He doesn't need the Magnum. He doesn't need anything. There is still a chance, though, Martin can come a couple. We're very near the end of the game. If you want to see if he can do it, then please stay here while we go to today's reviews. First up, Dave and Rick tried to look moody over the Saturn's Virtua Fighter remix. This means they got some hip DJ in to add a couple of drum beats and a chicka-chicka-hua noise. Or maybe not.
Well, Virtua Fighter really has been the Saturn's flagship game, and Virtua Fighter Remix bridges the gap between Virtua Fighter and Virtua Fighter 2. It's all the usual characters from the first game, but they've all been guru shaded like in the second game. And it's really quite good, although there aren't many differences in the playability.
I've never been a great Virtua Fighter fan. I've never liked the playability itself, and I certainly didn't like the graphics. So they have improved at least one of my quibbles. The only problem is, I still don't like the playability. It's still, to me, the slowest of the fighting games, 3D fighting games, I hasten to add, that are on the market.
KO.
Next up, top arcade racing action ahoy on the PC with Screamer. And being a Virgin game, expect some crazy controversial ad campaign to follow.
Screamer finally brings console racing action to the home computer. Basically, this is Ridge Racer for the PC, combining glorious graphics and impressive speed. In fact, this is probably the best racing game I've seen on this format.
It is certainly the best arcade racing game on this format, but that's what's inherently wrong about driving games on the PC. The PC owner is a more discerning person. They need more. They can't have the absolute speed that a console version of the same type of game would have.
For me, this game had it all. It had arcade action, nice tracks, good rivals, 8-player playability, everything I wanted on a PC.
Finally, Destruction Derby on the PlayStation is a game that encourages you to smash into other cars, which isn't big or clever and can have your eye out if you're not careful.
It looks like Ridge Racer. It's got fantastic graphics, especially when your car gets battered around by the opposition. Certainly in Destruction Derby mode, where you're centred in the middle of an entire arena and cars just pummel you into the sides. The only problem is, it's got no playability.
Yeah, I think the problem with Destruction Derby is perhaps they've tried to make it a little bit too realistic. They've taken all the fun out of it. It is just like driving a real car. When you do damage, you see damage on the car, you see damage on the other cars. There's no guns in it, though. There's no fantasy. You want a bit of fantasy in your games playing. And most of all, they've tried to make it like rock and roll racing. They've got the commentary in there and everything, but there's none of the playability, none of the fun.
This week's demo for PC blokes and ladies is the allegedly simple but addictive puzzle game Zoop. Log on to the number on screen, or you can get it via our webpage. The address is at the bottom. With a 14.4 modem, it'll take about 15 minutes to download, but get permission from the sucker who pays the bill. Right, Martin May, this is in the final stage of his Virtua Cop event challenge. We're just about to move on to a final boss type situation. There he is. He still hasn't taken a hit at all. You can see bottom right corner, 7 hearts. He's picked up a couple. No hits yet at all, Dave. Now, what's this boss going to do?
Well, this boss is going to turn into a robot, and here he is. And the thing to do is to take the missiles out on the top. That's just what Martin's doing. Take out the missile launchers to stop him from firing at you.
What do these missiles do? Do they home in on you or anything like that?
They'll home in on you, they'll come straight for you, and they'll take a life if they catch you. Although Martin's got 7, he doesn't want to lose one now, not at this stage, not when he's so close.
OK, we can see the boss's energy at the top of the screen. It's getting very, very low indeed. He's doing fantastic. Well, that's the boss done.
That's the end of the boss.
This must be near the end now, Dave, surely.
Well, it would be normally, but you've got the helicopter boss, because what Martin's done is he finished the game in the exact sequence from beginner, medium level to expert level, and that means he's got an extra boss to contend with.
OK, well, that's great, but it's also a bit of a pity because we're actually getting very, very close to the end of the show. We've only got about a minute of airtime left. It would be a tragedy if Martin does manage to complete this with maximum score, but we've got to the adverts. Let's hope that doesn't happen. You can see the energy bar of the boss there, about 3/4 way through. Dave, what's he got to do with this guy?
He's just got to keep taking these missiles out, and then when he's got a free moment, hit the helicopter and get that energy bar down.
He's gone off now. He's done a runner. Oh, no, he's back.
He goes off to reload, gives you a breather, but Martin's very slow. He's off the line.
He's taking a hit, but fantastic. That's the only hit he's taken in the entire game. He doesn't have a lot of time left, though. Oh, no, we're going to run out of time. Come on, Martin.
Well, this trigger finger action has really tired Martin. You can see how slow he is now, whereas before he was piling bullets into the enemies. Now he's much, much slower. OK, we can see the energy bar is at the bottom of the screen. That it's getting lower and lower. As far as Dave and I know, he has got the maximum points still so far. We won't know that until the end, though, completely. Come on, Martin, only a couple more clicks left. We're getting dangerously close to the end of the transmission. He won't have finished this challenge if he doesn't do it in time. That's it.
He's put up the boss. Let's see what the score is. Has he got the maximum? And the maximum score, yes, 9,999,999. Martin has done it, that's it, that's all we've got time for. No time for a formal presentation, so, oi, Martin, well done, mate. Thanks very much, bye-bye.